Powertrain warranty. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Coming right up on Prime Time, Adriana Cotero has a report on an FBI agent's telling testimony during a drug case. Plus, one hotel in Mighty is being used to shelter more than 30 of our island's homeless, and a new director has been selected for the Department of Public Health. Nestor Lecanto has details from today's media briefing.
Hafa and good evening. I'm Adriana Cotero. A new permanent public health director has been named. The governor has tapped longtime DPHSS employee Art San Augustine to replace the recently retired Linda Denorsi to run the agency leading the battle against the COVID-19 pandemic.
He's very knowledgeable on the inner workings of the agency. He also has a master's degree in human relations and a bachelor's of science in social work. With the help of deputy directors Lori Duenas and Josia Mellon, I am confident that under the leadership and experience of Art San Augustine, public health will continue to serve the people of Guam during this pandemic and after.
San Augustine was most recently the head of the Division of Senior Citizens and has served in other top management roles, including as acting director. Separately, the governor responded to various media questions about her plans for what's expected to be a drastic downturn in the economy.
We are trying to find ways where we can use various options so that we can attract people for maybe financial services. Telecommunications is another one. Data warehousing is another one. We are still also pursuing other diverse economies. Of course, working very closely with telecommunications is one. We are also working, like I said, Nestor, in previous, that our economy is driven by military spending. Our economy is driven by government spending. And then, of course, our economy is driven by tourism and other kinds of business.
The governor also mentioned attracting companies from politically troubled Hong Kong and developing agriculture and aquaculture industries. However, tourism remains our main economic driver for the foreseeable future, but the governor has no specific timetable for reopening.
If at all we are going to start seeing tourists, I will say not till like the first quarter of next year. And maybe only very limited amounts.
What then is the plan to keep the economy afloat until then, including saving money we won't have? The governor's answer is that her administration has always been very frugal.
Austerity programs might be also to look at alternative energies that we might be using to help run the operations of our government. Austerity programs, of course, is to hire the right people in place. And so those are some of the things that we are looking forward into providing more wise and better use of the limited financial resources that we have.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
The latest COVID-19 data for the island, according to the Joint Information Center, 0 tested positive. To date, there have been a total of 312 confirmed cases of COVID-19, with 5 deaths, 202 released from isolation, and 105 active cases. Of those cases, 266 are classified as civilians, and 46 are military service members. Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio announced that since last Friday, more than 30 unsheltered homeless individuals have been provided shelter in Mighty at a hotel-motel facility secured by the General Services Agency. He says Catholic Social Services is providing shelter management and conducting casework. He added that the effort will continue to identify unsheltered families in order to provide comprehensive services for those families.
The first mission of the council, we will review the mandate that we have. We'll get an update on our efforts to provide shelter to shelter from community transmission of COVID. And then, of course, we have efforts to deal with long-term and transitional housing options for all of these people.
Tenorio added that about 40 rooms are available. The newly created Interagency Council on Homelessness, chaired by the Lieutenant Governor, is expected to gather for their first meeting on Thursday, July 16th at 11 a.m. The governor should consider an executive order to let customers take out the alcohol they order at restaurants. The Women's Chamber and the Hotel and Restaurant Association say it's a quick fix that will help boost sales for struggling restaurants. Women's Chamber Chairperson Holly Rustick says it has the strong support of local operators.
This is just to promote, once again, another way for restaurants to actually bring in some more revenue and to do it in a very secure way that many places have already been doing for a long time. So, this isn't something new. Yes, more states have signed on during the pandemic, but this is because of, it just makes sense for the restaurants to be able to make some more money with their inventory that they currently have.
Rustick says restaurants must still have a valid alcoholic beverage control license and adhere to all of the requirements.
And of course, they would have to have a sign if you're taking alcohol out. You have to order food for one thing. You can't just order alcohol, call up and get alcohol delivered. You have to order food as well. And they also will have the laws if you go for curbside to let you know that this is still applicable to the law as far as DUI.
She says the laws against driving with open containers of alcohol would also apply. The SBA has stopped processing economic impact disaster loan advance requests as of July 11th. According to a news release, the program funds have now been fully allocated. Nearly $20 billion in advances for emergency capital needs were paid to some 6 million small businesses and nonprofit organizations. On Guam, the latest report shows a total of 1,421 businesses were given EIDL advance funds totaling $5.9 million, while 246 businesses in the CNMI received $1.18 million in advances. The advance funds do not have to be repaid. EIDL applications for low-interest loans of up to 30 years will still be processed through December 20th, even though the advance is no longer available. Mark Mayo argues his Miranda rights were not read and he was interrogated by the feds. However, the court rules otherwise and more information comes to light from an interview recording that alleges a federal probe into local law enforcement agencies and the Superior Court of Guam. Here's more from Chief Judge Francis Tidinko Gatewood's courtroom. Mark Mayo was arrested in the early hours of November 2019. He faces conspiracy to distribute meth and attempted possession of meth with intent to distribute charges. It was a drug raid in Estimbo that placed Mayo behind bars along with co-defendants Lavilia Mendoza and Joseph Roman II. However, since the case has been severed. We should note Mendoza has since gone into cooperation with the government, and during former Zonja Mayor Jesse Blas's federal case, it was stated Lavilia was Blas's former girlfriend. And Blas was also mentioned during Mayo's motion hearing to suppress this afternoon. Defense counsel Roland Mantegnonia argues his client was unable to waive his Miranda rights during his initial interview with the feds on November 19, 2019. FBI case agent Rafael Fernandez testified with the government playing back a recording of the interview. The recording alleges a federal probe into local law enforcement in the Superior Court of Guam and drawing connections to Blas's case. In the playback, Agent Fernandez tells Mayo, quote, "You just fell into one part of our investigation. You can potentially be in a position to help yourself," unquote. Further, the feds question Mayo's relations to various names who are alleged to be major drug smugglers in Guam. Mayo told the feds he met Lavilia back in 2017. She gave him a stash of drugs and helped him get 2 warrants lifted through her connections with Blas, stating, quote, "I didn't want to go in and Love told me to go see someone at probation and they would lift my warrant. And I just know 2 of my warrants were vacated because of the mayor," unquote. Also in the recording, Mayo said he never went into the court and was told to see a probation officer and call a number. The agent then asked Mayo, "Do you know who Joey Terlahi is?" Mayo responded with, "He was a marshal and he was at a barbecue punching some girl in the face," unquote. As we reported, similar testimony was detailed during Blas's arraignment last year in September, and Terlahi immediately resigned from his position as deputy director of the Department of Corrections. And since Blas has entered a plea agreement on extortion charges for allowing drug trafficking through Zonja mailboxes, he is waiting to be sentenced. During today's motion hearing, Chief Judge told the government, quote, "It seems like this was a gunshot approach into a bigger probe into the local probation office, local marshals, and the local police department. I'm only alleging this because there were 2 warrants vacated and only a judge can vacate a warrant," unquote. Further, the court asked, "Is the local court under investigation? Can you say this?" Agent Fernandez responding with, "It may appear that way, but it wasn't a gunshot because we were already aware of everything," unquote. After hours of testimony and hearing arguments from both parties, the court denied the motion to suppress on all bases, ruling in favor with the prosecution, and ultimately determining Mayo was coherent and aware of what was happening during the FBI's interview, and that it was not an interrogation. Mayo's case is expected to go to trial on August 10th, and it was stated there are 39 days left on the speedy trial clock. In Superior Court news, Anthony Mendiola was granted pretrial release from two third-party custodians. Last week, the murder charge was dropped from Mendiola's homicide case under the Castle Doctrine. He admitted to shooting 37-year-old Joey Zamara on June 23rd. It was determined by both parties that, according to the evidence, Mendiola was acting in self-defense, making him immune from the criminal prosecution. Defense counsel Joseph McDonald filed a motion for ex parte, asking the court to reconsider the bail requirements, arguing Mendiola is not a danger to the community. Assistant Attorney General Sean Brown objected his release, arguing that the death of an individual is to not be justified and that the remaining charges are severe. Mendiola still faces third-degree felony charges for illegal weapons possession. The court allowed Mendiola's release from custody, ordering him to stay away from the mother and any relatives of the victim. His next court appearance has been set for July 29th. And Chief Judge Francis Hedinko Gatewood has granted Lucille Torres' request for continued sentencing. Torres went into cooperation with the feds and entered a plea agreement for her role in a major conspiracy to smuggle drugs from California to Guam back in 2017. Defense counsel Curtis Vandeveld asked the court to move today's hearing dates due to, quote, inaccessibility of conferring with client, unquote. In the defense's motion for continuance, Attorney Vandeveld argues that due to the recent female DOC officer testing positive for COVID-19, it has restricted access for him to meet with his client to discuss possible testimony to be heard during sentencing. The government did not object the continuance, and the court set the hearing for July 28th at 1:30 p.m. She led police on a high-speed chase that stretched from Tamuning to the hills of Menengan. 32-year-old Maria Teresa Blan Cepeda was arrested and charged with eluding a police officer, reckless conduct, reckless driving, expired registration, no mandatory insurance, and operating a vehicle without a valid driver's license. According to court documents, police tried to pull Cepeda over just after 8:30 last night for 4 active warrants of arrest, but when they turned on their lights, she allegedly took off. It all came to an end on a dirt trail near the Leo Palace Resort, where a couple patrol cars got stuck in the dirt. During the chase, Cepeda didn't have a driver's license, and a Forerunner she drove had an expired registration. According to court documents, Cepeda told police, quote, "I'm a runner, sir, so I'm going to run because at least there's a chance I won't get caught," unquote. And stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Tomorrow is built on what we do today. And today, we can respond to the 2020 Census of Guam. Our responses will influence the federal support our island receives and the community programs we need for the next 10 years and beyond. Respond today over the telephone, in person at home, or at your village census center, because tomorrow is counting on us today.
It's gonna look a little different in here. Your favorite spot might not be exactly where it used to be. Being next in line might feel a little less like next in line. And our smiles might come with a little extra shine. But McDonald's is ready to take your order as safely as we can.
While we've all been through a lot over the years, typhoons, earthquakes, and now COVID-19, we've been able to get through these together.
For more than 80 years.
Travelers Insurance has been protecting your homes, your businesses,
And the health of your family.
We are here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
There are better days ahead. Tomorrow's a new day filled with hope and choices.
The possibilities of what we can achieve together are limitless.
Let's continue to work together to ensure a brighter tomorrow for all of us.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Manson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Hila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Welcome back to Primetime News. Important news regarding tax refunds. The Department of Revenue and Taxation announced that 1,214 tax refunds for 2019 have been processed and will be placed in the mail this week. The checks total a little over $4.2 million. This includes refunds that have been garnished to repay government debts for air-free returns filed on or before January 30th, 2020. The Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation announced yesterday that there are 2 more confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the Northern Marianas. One is the first COVID-19 diagnosis identified for Tinian. According to the press release, the Tinian resident, quote, did transit to Tinian, but immediately returned to Saipan for additional testing and monitoring, unquote. Both CNMI residents diagnosed with COVID-19 were screened and swabbed for specimen collection on July 11th upon arrival at the Saipan airport. They are in stable condition, isolated at the Kanoa Resort facility. They add that CHCC initiated contact tracing, and for the most immediate contacts, this brings the total amount of cases to 33 since March. The island of Rota remains COVID-19 free, but it's bracing for the long-term financial crisis and amid massive furloughs in government. Our Tomas Manglotnia reports from Rota.
The Rota Mayor's press secretary, Ivan Merab Jr., says while the island is COVID-free, containment in the region is still key.
The most viable plan right now is the concentration and screening, as well as vetting incoming passengers to follow the procedure for entering the Commonwealth from areas that are prone or been known for COVID-19.
With continued testing, the community remains vigilant.
The community was very alarmed that it got so close to home. I mean, Guam was one regional area away from the Marianas, but having it on Saipan brought the stress level as well as the anxiety level in Rota to a new high peak.
That stress comes amid massive budget cuts. The mayor's office furloughed about half of its 80 staff. At the local health center, resident director Vanessa Kitagawa says 564, or about 22% of residents, have been tested.
All specimens tested came back negative and no positive cases so far. The last CBT was conducted at the airport and on June 13, and we will be resuming this week here at Rota Health Center on Wednesday.
The community-based testing program will run every Wednesday and Thursday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at RHC. Residents remain cautious as flights continue throughout the region. Tomas Manglotnia for KUAM News on Rota.
On Saipan, the CNMI House Special Committee on Fiscal Review of Executive Expenditures held its first organizational meeting today at the legislature. They are preparing subpoenas for multiple government agencies, and we speak with Representative Tina Sablan.
We asked that we begin moving now on subpoenaing records that we requested from the Department of Finance 7 months ago. We know that there are a number of records that are missing, that were redacted. So the chairman of the committee, Representative Yumo, designated us to submit a list of the records that we want to include in the subpoena, and that is due on Friday.
They are seeking to review the governor's expenditures, including first-class travel, reimbursements, utilities, funds related to the Imperial Pacific International Casino, and his most recent promotional trip to the Northern Islands with the YouTube vlogger. The bipartisan committee is expected to meet again next week. The Department of Agriculture Law Enforcement Section conservation officers executed an arrest of 2 individuals on Friday evening. Conservation officers conducted a check-in at the Tuman Marine Preserve area and arrested 49-year-old Hastig Dewey and 58-year-old Poman Ikens for illegal fishing. Conservation officers confiscated a total of 108 assorted reef fish, 1 octopus, and 2 Hawaiian slings, 2 pairs of dive fins, 2 dive masks, and 2 snorkels. Taking advantage of the good weather over the weekend, the Guam National Guard's 1,224th Engineer Support Company assisted the Barrigada Mayor's office. According to spokesperson Mark Scott, members helped in clearing and grading a portion of land in Tizan that will be held for the future community park facilities. And coming up, we continue to celebrate the graduates of 2020. You're watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live más.
I am a senior citizen. I get to stand in line ahead most of you in government offices, and I get cheaper coffee. I served 10 years in Congress in the last century, and I served 10 years as president of the university in this century. I can tell you about handing out 7,000 diplomas at the university, returning almost $2 billion worth of land from the federal government, or starting the National Guard Readiness Center at Barragata. But that experience doesn't make me qualified to be your congressman today. Age and experience are valuable, but understanding ordinary lives, commitment to social progress, and integrity are still the major qualifications for Congress. Youth and vigor in the wrong direction is a greater danger than age and experience, especially in these times. I'm Robert Underwood. I may be ahead of you in line, but I'm behind you all the way. I'm Robert Underwood, and I approve this message.
We still hand rotate every barrel. We still hand dip every bottle. We still hand cut every label and use red winter wheat from the same single-family farm. Because just like our distinctive taste, these are the marks of the maker.
We are open to serve you at Cars Plus Guam. Need a quick service for your vehicle? Visit our express lane at Cars Plus. Done fast, done right. No appointment needed. Our service team is dedicated to helping you get your vehicle in and out of the shop and back on the road quickly and securely. Simply drop off your vehicle at our express lane driveway, and one of our service advisors will take care of it. Need a ride? Not to worry. We have a shuttle vehicle ready to drop you back home and pick you up when your vehicle is ready. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit us today. We are open to serve you.
Taco Bell's new grilled cheese burrito is filled with nacho cheese sauce and a delicious 3-cheese blend. And even more melty cheese is grilled on top. Introducing Taco Bell's grilled cheese burrito box. Order ahead and pick yours up at our contactless drive-thru.
Welcome back. We continue to show our support to the entire class of 2020 in a special user-generated segment with submissions from their loved ones.
Head of the Class 2020 is brought to you as always by Guam Community College and ABC Stores. Let's get this week started by congratulating Sage De La Cruz from Balboa Middle School, the 8th grade, moving on up to high school. I am very proud of the bright young man that you are turning out to be. High school is going to be a new chapter, and I look forward to seeing you grow into the man you are meant to be. I love you, and I'm proud of you. Mike Jr. Halmy from GW High School. Congratulations, Mikey. We are very proud of you. We congratulate you on forwarding a step towards your successful career. Love, Mom, Dad, Megan, and Moana. Summer Torres is graduating from Southern High School. Way to go, baby sis. We're extremely proud of the young woman you've become. The sky's the limit for your future. Stay strong, and we're always here for you. Love, Shelly, Art, Jariah, Nadine, and Alexander Leo. Tristan David, graduating from Capole High School. Congratulations, Bull Boy. You're an incredible young man with a bright and blessed future ahead of you. We love you and miss you. With love always, Grandma Elaine, Uncle Artie, and family. Deshanae Apatang Cruz, graduating from Ukadu High School. Sis, no matter where life leads you, no matter what you do, we'll always be your biggest fan. We'll always be here for you. Congratulations, baby girl. We are so proud of you. And John Kelvin Valencia, graduating from JFK High School. Congratulations, son. You did a great job. So proud of you. I love you. And last but not least, Vanessa Gabrielle Bamba Cruz, graduating from Academy of Our Lady of Guam. Congratulations, Vanessa. We are so proud of you. Love the family. We are so proud of all of our graduates, so congratulations, everyone. That's your Head of the Class 2020, brought to you by Guam Community College and ABC Stores.
You can watch more submissions every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on KUAM News. And coming up, your birthday shout-outs. Keep it here.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's, offers fully covered loading and unloading area with individual pin-coded gate and door access. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
No one out-cheeses, out-meats, out-supremes, out-crusts, or outstuffs the Hut. Because when it comes to making your favorites, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
We are sending some birthday love island style on this July 13th to our birthday celebrants tonight. So happy birthday to Donna Mantanonia. Happy birthday to Donna all the way in Washington. We love and miss you. Says your family on Guam. Rico St. Nicholas Chrysostomo, happy birthday number 29 from Mom, Dad, Tosh, and the family. Also happy birthday number 27 to Marion Arroyo, otherwise known as Katie. Your family is sending all of their love. And happy belated birthday wishes because born on the 12th is Caden Joe. Caden celebrates birthday number 1. And he's getting love from a Papa and Mama. Gabrielle Borja, born on the 11th. Happy birthday, my beautiful Gabby. Love Mommy, Papa, Grandma, and Nina. Thomas J. Guerrero, also born on the 11th. Happy birthday to you. Thank you for being a kind, loving uncle to my daughter. We love and appreciate you, Cello. Rosa Howe. That's a great shout out. Jonathan Sablan Diego, also born on, man, lots of people born on the 11th. Wishing you a happy, blessed birthday. Enjoy your day and please stay safe. Shout out, coming from the Max, love and virtual hugs. Virtual hugs are really, really cool. So share some of those today, all the time. And lastly, Joe Chargalaf, who was also born on July the 11th. Happy birthday number 73 to Papa Joe. We love and miss you, say Jonah and Isaiah. Hope each and every one of you had an excellent, excellent birthday.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birthday. That's going to do it for us here on Prime Time. Thank you for watching. Have a good night and be safe.